I'm John McQuay with 8541 Tactical, and we're here today to give you a short review of the Tipton Best Gun Vise. You guys have seen this vise before on some of our product reviews and also on Mail Call Mondays every now and again. It is actually a really useful tool in our shop here. Now, the Tipton Best Gun Vise can be adjusted to an extremely wide variety of firearms. I really can't think of any shoulder-fired rifle that you really can't fit this thing to. Starting at the front here, everything uses these big knobs to adjust and tighten down. So it's all toolless and it adjusts very fast. We have the front cradle up here for the fore end of your rifle or shotgun, and you can undo this front knob and slide it forward or back to wherever you need. Additionally, you can undo this knob right here on the cradle and you can slide it up or down at an angle, and there's some detents in there that it skips over, and you can set through a pretty wide range. I've got to loosen it up a little bit more. You can slide it through a pretty large range and get this thing really set wherever you need it. When you get it where you want it and you lock the knob down, there are little detents in here that keep it from sliding once you lock it down. So you don't really have to crank it down hard, but you can get it set in and you're pretty good to go. On the back here, this is the portion that really gives it the vise name. Now, there are two knobs that allow you to loosen this up and slide this portion forward or back on the aluminum track in the base. And once you get it set to where you want the buttstock to be, you have two cams here on either side. They have these big locking flipper levers on them. What you do is initially you start with the levers in the up position and you use these black knobs on either side to adjust the pads to get them fairly close to the stock. You then flip these levers down and it cams those pads in and applies pressure to your stock, and it really locks it in there. I mean, you can see I can lift the back of the vise up by it. So it's really holding the stock in fairly sturdy. And because these adjust in and out, if you're working with a really fine wood stock and you don't want to worry about marring it, you can use pretty light tension. If you're working with a tactical rifle that's got some weight to it, or you're really going to be doing something that's going to be moving the rifle around, you can increase the tension and really crank that down. Additionally, there is padded material in the middle here to protect your stock. If you've got a really good angle on that stock, on the toe, then it's not going to get nicked up or torn up. Now, one of the really neat features of this vise is it was designed to allow you to work on ARs as well very easily. Now, you see we have an AR-15 in here, and one of the primary ways to clean an AR-15 is to shotgun the rifle open. That way you can just slide in your bore guide, you can run your rods in, etc., and you don't have to fully disassemble the rifle. Those of you that cleaned ARs for a while know that when you take the upper receiver off, it's usually flopping around. It always takes one hand to stabilize the upper while you're using the other hand to try to run the rod and manage patches and all that. And it can be kind of troublesome. You make do, but you shouldn't have to. Well, on the Tipton Best Gun Vise, they include this nifty little L-shaped bracket here. And what I like to do with it is set it with the short side up, slide it back underneath the trigger guard, and then lock it down. And it will hold the AR in shotgun fashion so that you can put your bore guide in here, run your cleaning rod, etc., and be hands-free. If you want to put it back down to work on optics or something, it's really easy to slide out of the way, lock back down, push your pin through, and you're done. Also, you can see on this, there is a long leg. You can flip this the other direction so that the long leg is up. If you're working on something like side-by-side or over-under shotguns and you want to be able to set it up that way, you can do so. This vise offers you a ton of options. It's got some nice recesses down here in the base to give you a place to put solvent bottles, patches, attachments, whatever. The only thing that I really wish it would have is I wish it had some kind of notch or cradle on the side so I can drop my cleaning rod into that and not worry about it rolling off the workbench. But other than that, it works very well. As I said, it clamps the rifle in very securely. There's really no worry about your rifle falling out of this. This AR is clamped in here so tight, it would take an earthquake to knock it out. It really is fairly well secured. Now to the drawbacks. First of all, the cost on this runs right about $90. You can catch them on sale at Midway every now and again. And for $90, you're getting a very nice design, but they use some fairly lightweight materials. This is all molded plastic. Pretty much the entire thing, with the exception of the places where your rifle actually contacts it, is plastic. It has rubber pads where your rifle is going to contact the cradle, and then the thumb screws, or the knobs here, all have metal studs on the other side that they screw into, and they have metal inserts in the actual knobs themselves. So you don't have to worry about breaking the knobs unless you really do something stupid. But the plastic is fairly flexible. You can squeeze on it and feel it move. When you tighten the knobs down, sometimes you're worried about cracking the plastic. It hasn't actually been an issue, but it's always a fear in the back of your mind. Also, when you go to cam the levers down, while they work and they hold the rifle very well, you can see the whole assembly up here flex when you cam those levers down, and it's a little bit more flex than I'd like to see. Overall, the Tipton Best Gun Vise does exactly what it was designed to do, and it does it very well. I'd like to see a little bit higher quality materials, but my fear is that would raise the price considerably, and at $90 we're already on the upper end of what I think is probably an acceptable price range for this kind of product here. However, it makes your cleaning jobs a whole lot easier. It makes maintaining your weapon a whole lot easier, since you no longer have to worry about it rolling around on the bench or getting knocked off. And really, if you're doing weapons maintenance on a regular basis, this is a great tool to have. Additionally, for us, it allows us to lock a weapon in so that you can see it, and I still have my hands free to do various different tasks and show you different things on a weapon system. So for us, it works very well. If you've got any questions or comments on the Tipton Best Gun Vise, please leave them in the comments section below or send them to us on Facebook or Twitter. If you've liked this video, please give us that thumbs up. If you want to get one of these of your own, we'll leave you a link in the description below on where you can go to pick one up for yourself. And if you're a subscriber, thank you very much. If you're not, please subscribe. And finally, get out and shoot!